Hey guys, welcome to Immortal Monster Wrestling and welcome to my Raw review. So before we start the Raw review, I'm gonna address something that I posted the MITB review video last night. So I told people who watched it that please post comments on it. So because I'm going to do a Q&A video on Friday, so you can ask questions on the in the comment section, and I will read those comments along with your name, and that way I can also give a shout out to you. So yeah, my videos only get around 5 views a video, so there will not be much questions. So I can easily read all the questions around Friday. It will be maximum around 20 questions. So yeah, please comment in this video, and so that I will give a shout out to you. So let's start with the Raw review. Raw started with Kurt Angle coming out and then giving the title to Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss cut a great heel promo. This was a great segment. This was a great segment. Alexa Bliss cut a promo about that she is the deserving one. She is the 5 times Raw Women's Champion, and she cut a great heel cocky promo, which made Ronda Rousey come out, and then she also said that Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey are bully, and I beat both of them last night. Ronda Rousey came out. Ronda Rousey was pissed. Kurt Angle tried to stop Ronda Rousey, but she took him down and then started hitting Alexa Bliss with the MITB briefcase. But then security tried to stop her. She took them down, and then Kurt Angle tried to again stop her, but she hit him with a briefcase, and then she powerbombed Alexa on the announce table. This was a great segment. Alexa's selling of the fear of Ronda was great, and Alexa's cocky promo was great. Ronda looked like a stone cold type badass babyface. This segment as a whole was one of the best opening segment in a long time. Seriously, it was that great, but they don't know how to follow that up. It was that great that they don't know how to follow it up, because after the break we had Kurt Angle backstage with Ronda Rousey saying that she's suspended for 30 days because they don't know how to follow this great angle. So yeah, next up we had Seth Rollins coming out and saying that he somehow managed to beat Elias after a grueling match, but he would not stop because he's a fighting champion. So the Seth Rollins Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge start right now. You want some? Come get some. He didn't say that, but he issued an open challenge. Dolph Ziggler came out along with Drew McIntyre, so they had a pretty good match. So it was Seth Rollins and Ziggler trying to exchange their finishers at the starting of the match, but then it cuts to commercial break, and then when we came back, Ziggler was uh, on the control of the match, and then they had a back and forth match. Rollins tried to give him a blackout, but Ziggler hit a zigzag for a 2 count. Rollins hit a buckle bomb and super kick for a 2 count. He had multiple super kicks before that, uh, abracadabra for 2 count, and it was a great match. It was going back and forth at a very good pace. But then Drew McIntyre tried to distract Seth. Seth was hitting Drew McIntyre, and then he tried to go for the pin, roll up pin on Ziggler, but then Ziggler just rolled him up for the pin and won the IC title. It was a great match which told a great story. That Seth Rollins had a grueling match last night and was just able to escape Elias, because now I think Elias is a very big threat. Suddenly WWE pushed Elias to the moon, which is fine, and he somehow managed to beat Elias. But then he issued an open challenge and was trying to beat Ziggler again with the roll up finish, because he wasn't able to hit a finisher on Ziggler. But then Ziggler rolled him up because Rollins was not that strong after that grueling match, and Ziggler won the title. So yeah, now Ziggler is the champion, and yeah, that's I think that's good. See, I think Ziggler deserves one title because he has been the one who actually made the title prestigious. Some people say Miz, but he was the one who used to give good matches in 2013 and 2012 and 2014 with the IC title against Harper, Tyson Kidd, and Cesaro, etc. So I think Ziggler deserve it. But WWE has ruined Dick Ziggler. I would not be surprised if next Raw Seth Rollins just takes the title away from him again. So we went from that these two great segments to Bobby Roode versus Scott Hawkins. Scott Hawkins tried to have uh, control of the match in the starting, but then Bobby Roode just beat him with a glorious DDT in 43 seconds. So they are trying, and he is now 200 0 to 204. They are trying to make this angle with Scott Hawkins losing his streak by winning a match. It is a good angle, so let's see how they capitalize on it. So next up we had Monster in the Bank. Braun Strowman came out and he said he loves destruction, but he last night was his favorite night because he destroyed 7 men to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he just wants Brock Lesnar to come out and so that he can take the Universal title away from him. That makes Kevin Owens come out, and Kevin Owens then tried to kiss Braun's ass and say that he he should ha- he should be an opportunist to cash in on Brock, and then he says that he will help Braun Strowman to beat Brock Lesnar, but then in return Braun Strowman has to give him a title shot at the Universal Championship. Braun agrees to that, but as soon as they started to shake hand, Braun just squeezes his hand and goes for the power slam, but Kevin Owens just somehow cuts it and just goes retreats. This was a funny segment. Kevin Owens is such an asshole. We all know that he doesn't mean anything to help Braun, but he just, the way he says that it looks so good. Kevin Owens is great on the mic. So yeah, next up we had Sasha Banks upset over her loss for the Money in the Bank. Then Bailey tries to comfort her, and yeah, it was. Next up we had the B team cosplaying Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas as Bray Wyatt brothers. So yeah, it was a funny segment. It was it was a very funny segment. It was pretty good. I like this segment. So next up we had Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus Heath Slater and Rhino in a squash match, which is good for building momentum of the champions. But there's always a but. Their matches are uninteresting. I don't like their matches. Their matches are pretty boring. So next up we had Jinder Mahal coming out to his Shanti gimmick, peace gimmick again, which he used in the late 2016s, 2016, yeah, and then he joined Rusev after that, and then he became world champion. He's again starting that gimmick. It's kind of tranquilo gimmick. I don't know what he was saying, but let's see what direction it goes. He has a match with Chad Gable, who is fantastic in the ring. The match itself was okay, but it was kind of short. Jinder Mahal beat Chad Gable. Chad Gable is not relevant. Jinder Mahal is not relevant too. So I don't know where this is going. Next up, we had Elias talking a promo, cutting a promo on in the ring, saying the song that when it's hard times you go on. I don't know. It is kind of a babyface promo. Then we had Renee Young backstage with Seth Rollins asking about the his loss. Seth Rollins said there is no excuse for the loss, but he is going to take care of Drew McIntyre before his match with Dolph Ziggler next week. So yeah, next up we had Sasha Banks and Bailey versus the Riot Squad. It was it was a fun match. It was not a fun match. It was a decent match with the heels working on Bailey, Sasha getting a hot tag, but Liv Morgan just rolling up the pin. So it continues to create a dissension between Bailey and Sasha Banks, which has been robbed for like 2 months, and then they're starting that angle again. So then after the commercial break, we have backstage. Bailey tries to be a bitch and ask Sasha about the loss, but then they started brawling, and then it just went on. I think Sasha just turned heel. I think Sasha turned heel. I hope they don't drop it the next week. So yeah, it was good. Next up, we had Kurt Angle coming out. He said earlier in the night, Kurt said that he's going to make an announcement about the Universal Championship match. He didn't said he was going to make the announcement about the Universal Championship match. He just said he's going to make an announcement. He comes down to the ring. He says that we are going to find a number one contender for the Universal Championship because Brock Lesnar is going to defend it, which makes Roman Reigns come out. He says, and Michael Cole has an orgasm in it, and he says, "The big dog." Ross does it better. So yeah, they continued that. And the Authority versus Roman Reigns storyline. Roman Reigns says that he is the rightful Universal Champion. He won at the Greatest Royal Rumble, which made Bobby Lashley come out, and he says ever since he left the company, that is WWE, his dream was to face Brock Lesnar, and he was going to beat him. He's going to do the work that Roman Reigns was not able to do, that is beat Brock Lesnar, and he is better than Brock Lesnar. He's better than Roman Reigns, which made the Revival come out. Revival said that you two are main event stars, but what if two of the top single stars face the top guys? And Roman Reigns says, "Shut up." Roman Reigns was being badass here now, and he also says that let's in the tag match, let's see if I can teach Bobby Lashley a thing or two. So yeah, then we had the match itself. The match itself was good. Roman was as good as always, pretty good in the match, and the Revival, we know how good they are, but they are just enhancement talent now. So yeah, Roman Reigns did a cool looking leg drop, and also at last when he was Roman Reigns controlled the match like completely, but at last he was going for the spear. Bob Lashley tagged in and hit us a beautiful looking spear himself and pinned Dash Wilder for the win. So yeah, this was an okay angle for the. Then next up we had the main event match. The main event match means the match from the main event, that is No Way Jose versus Mojo Rawley. This match was, yeah, it was just a match. Mojo Rawley did a cool looking chop block on No Way Jose and then beat him. So yeah, this match had nothing to offer. This was a great show, but it had too many filler matches. That is the Deleter of Worlds versus Rhino and Heath Slater, and one more match was there. This one and one more match. I'm not. I'm not remembering. Oh, who gives a fuck? But there was one more uh, filler match. But next up, we had the team of Finn Balor and Braun Strowman versus Constable Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens. This match was made in the backstage segment where Braun says the Finn and he are buddies, which I dig. And Constable Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens had a match with them. So this was a pretty fun match. Baron Corbin was the star of the match. He hit an end of the days on Finn Balor, which the ending I did not like, but still the match was pretty good. Braun Strowman did a spear on the barricade with Kevin Owens and just took him out, and then Balor and Corbin just fought, and Corbin hit the end of days on Balor. So this was the ending of the show. The main event itself was not necessary, but it was pretty good. So yeah, this was the whole show. The most enjoyable segment was definitely the Rousey segment, and yeah, so it is going to be, I think, a fatal 5-way at Extreme Rules, just like last year, which was a fantastic match. Then this time it's going to be Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor, Elias, and one more guy. Who knows who is it? But next day, tomorrow we will have a gauntlet match between Biggie, Rusev, Joe, Brian, and Cash for the and Miz, sorry, not Cass, for the number one contenders for the WWE Championship. So it will be fun. So guys, this was my Raw review. Don't forget to comment on this video. I'm not asking about likes. Just comment on the video. Thank you and have a nice day.